This is the reason why concessions at the Masters are so cheap. Why are the concession prices at one of the world's most expensive sports tournaments so cheap? Whether it is the iconic pimento cheese sandwich, Georgia peach ice cream sandwich, or just beer, nothing costs more than $6. Is it something scandalous like trash product quality, or something as realistic as simple economics? Well, let's find out. Any sports fan would know about the Masters. Even if you're not an avid fan, the Masters is a pretty big deal, and you might have heard of it anyway. Held in the Augusta National Golf Club every year, the Masters is a golf tournament that is one of the 4 major championships. You getting a ticket to it? Well, you might need to sell off a kidney in order to get one. The Masters is notorious for having the most expensive tickets to any sports event, and as it is the first major championship contested every year, it is known for its exclusivity. Looking at the ticket market for Masters, it is very reasonable if you're able to win the lottery tickets. The badges, the prices for practice rounds cost up to $100, whereas for normal rounds we're near $115 this year. But of course, looking at the secondary market, it is a lot different. Potential patrons can expect to pay thousands of dollars to receive a badge just to go for a day or two. So it really depends if you're lucky enough to win the initial lottery. Tyler Skinner, sports economist. The first thing that is important to know is that golf fans aren't just able to go to Ticketmaster or wherever to buy badges to attend a tournament. Augusta National Golf Club holds a lottery to get badges. Then, though it's technically against the rules, you will see some of those badges put on secondary markets like StubHub or SeatGeek. As for the prices, the cheapest full tournament badge in StubHub is sitting at $5,500 for all 4 days. Meanwhile, full weekend tickets for Saturday and Sunday will cost you at a minimum just shy of $4,000. For just a single day, the cheapest tickets you'll find are for Thursday at just under $1,500. The tickets for every other day starting at $1,690. Commonly known as a tradition like no other, the Masters might be known for its prestigious status and the prestigious price point, and of course all the greatest golf players present. Another thing it is very known for is the cheap concession prices. At the Augusta National Golf Club, the concession prices are almost as iconic as the golf course itself. There are plenty of reasonably priced food items, and people attending the 4-day tournament can enjoy good food and a variety of flavors without scrambling for cash. So that is the one thing, Augusta National and the Masters as a whole has really tried to keep as one of their main traditions. It's a very traditional place, and they really try to harken back to an old tradition of where sports wasn't really as capitalistic, so food prices are extremely reasonable. For example, their famous pimento cheese sandwich is only $1.50. It's been their price since 2003. The menu consists of the Masters' signature menu items such as the egg salad and the pimento cheese sandwich, and these items do not cost more than $6. In fact, sports economist Tyler Skinner shared that items such as the pimento cheese sandwich and the egg salad were priced up to $1 back in the 1990s, and 30 years later the price has elevated to $1.50, only increasing 50 cents. These cheap concession prices are a break from convention when it comes to the status quo of sporting events in general. There, the prices are extremely expensive and eat away at the patrons' pockets. At tournaments such as baseball, etc., a beer can cost up to, well, you guess it. But why? What is the reason behind the low concession prices at Augusta National? According to Steve Salaga, sports economist and assistant professor at Sports Management and Policy at the University of Georgia, the reason lies in simple economics. We have to remember the total cost of event attendance includes travel and transaction costs, the cost of the ticket itself, as well as any parking, concessions, and souvenirs purchased. Says Salaga, So one way to make the overall experience more appealing to the consumer is to keep the price of these complementary products like concessions low. Not that Augusta has an issue with this, but I think the affordable concession pricing is an appealing aspect of the consumer experience. The first thing is, when you're buying food in bulk, you can get pretty reasonable prices. So I'm sure they're still turning a profit, although their margins are definitely down with the increased food prices that we've been seeing. But the main thing to remember is concessions really make up just a very small percentage of the revenue being generated by the masters. The masters is very private about their finances, but the estimates I've seen may make it look like the concessions bringing about $7 or $8 million a year in revenue, versus they make upwards of $70 million just in merchandise. So it's really a small amount in their overall revenue plan. Tyler Skinner, sports economist. According to Skinner, the Masters are a very traditional place. They aim to play the long game rather than the short-term revenue generation game. They're leaving lots of money on the table in the short term, whether that is the concessions or their domestic TV rights. But at the end of the day, they have this special place in golf. They're able to build this identity that everyone loves and knows now. Salaga had something similar to say about the concession prices and overall profit. I highly doubt Augusta is taking a net loss from their concessions, Salaga added. They are trying to generate a profit from the overall operation of the event, and concession sales are just one relatively small portion of their overall revenue stream. So they are probably taking slightly less profit on concessions than they otherwise would if they were pricing higher, but Augusta likely prefers this approach in order to keep the consumer engaged in the product. With smaller portion sizes and less greasy options, Augusta National provides its attendees with healthy but delicious options, each of which comes at a reasonable price tag. Few stick out as much as the pimento cheese, mounted with an assortment of cheeses and spices. Fresh pepper and onion provide a sharp contrast to the richness of the cheese. It's no wonder the sandwich has sparked a legacy of its own, as explored by Sam Weinman of Golf Digest. Whether it's the gooey pimento cheese, a moon pie, or one of the Master's signature craft beers, odds are that fans will be able to delight in their menu for a reasonable price. So what will you be getting? Let us know down below, and if you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos.